Hello, friends and entrepreneurs. My name is Bimal Shah. I'm on a mission to make pioneers out of entrepreneurs throughout the world. And I do that by helping them achieve their 3 year goal in 1 year and make them the only one in their industry and making them the pioneer in their own industry. I do this through 4 90-day leaps that I've built a proprietary system, and each 90-day leap is built on helping you scale sustainably after the entire 4 leaps are built. And you walk through the whole process and you get the rinse and repeat 90-day leap. So today I'm going to talk about the five transformative qualities and character traits that are needed for transformative leadership. Um, and these five qualities can help you anywhere to help you become a transformative leader, whether you're running a small company, whether you're running a large company, it will help you. I've also written 13 books titled Becoming a Pioneer, which you can get $100 Amazon gift card if you scan the QR code here. So these qualities can help you become, the transformational leader that you're looking for. So let's go over all those five transformation leader qualities that help you become a transformative leader. The first is become a transformative communicator. What I have seen is when I go to companies, communication is often the biggest bottleneck. And, it is also the biggest thing that can make the most impact in terms of your bottom line. And I have seen communication done without intent. So when I say become a transformative communicator, you're looking to become a communication where it's done with intent to transform and take it to an end result. So there should be no gossip. There should be, no wasted meetings. So I've seen, I used to coach the Miami-Dade College Executive Board, and they, for several years, almost 3 to 5 years, they used to have meetings after meetings after meetings with no conclusion in place. And they're just tired of having these meetings. So, I built a system of having a transformative meeting where every meeting ends up with a specific results. So this is transformative communication where it's done with the proper intent, and there's culture values that are placed in the company on how you talk, how you communicate, what is the intent, what is the goal, what is the end result that we're looking to achieve, why are we talking about this, what is the biggest difference it makes, and what in your mind should be true at the end of the conversation that you're planning to have. So if you go with that intent in your frame of mind, you become a transformative communicator. So that is, communication with top intent to transform. And everyone, wherever they talk, whatever they talk, the intent is personal or professional transformation, where there's a before and after scenario and before and after results. So that is number one. Number two is building innovation and building transformative innovation. Now, if you ask for idea, everybody has ideas. They can throw ideas at the wazoo, but you want ideas that work. So if you're a leader and you want to build innovation, you want to build transformative innovation. And I built a formula for this. It's called Spectre. So Spectre means that you start and select one thing that you want to, build an innovation on. Select one specific concentration area, process, whatever. Then put it into a process. I have a tool called the Process Innovator, and you use that process innovator tool, and you can help put it into a process. Then you have to find out, what are you going to eliminate? If a process does not eliminate something that you already have, you're adding more to what you have. So that is something that you want to see, and whoever's building this innovation in your team, they have to come back, okay, if we build this innovation, we are going to eliminate this and substitute it with this. So that way, nothing more of your resources are taken. Second is, if it's not going to eliminate, what's it going to change? Is it going to make things better, faster, easier, cheaper, bigger? Is there going to be improvements? So what needs to change to, what is the impact? And then you have to test it. So if they're coming to an idea, did they test the idea first? Did they, is this process going to work? What is the timeline, or is it just an idea in your head that we can try, and, we have to put the resources to test it. So if there is a way to test it small, what is the testing time period, amount, time, money, resources, people, all that needs to be allocated. The last is orchestrating for an end result. So when you're orchestrating this, how are you going to orchestrate? Who do you need in your team? So when they're going through this 7 steps, I will say it again: select, process, eliminate, change, test, orchestrate, and result. So this is building transformative innovation. And when they're going through this whole process, you have them work on it. It's not just coming up with any idea. And by the time they go through the process, they know, how to kill this idea. This process can actually kill invalid ideas, and you probably kill 1,000 ideas before you come up with the one that really works. So that's what Steve Jobs says is, the whole process of innovation, we killed many ideas before, we use the one that works. So that is building transformative innovation. Now, the third most important quality is being the conductor. If you ever been to a symphony, if you ever been to an orchestra, you always see the back of the conductor to the audience. Why isn't the conductor looking at you? Why is the conductor facing their team of musicians and their team of orchestrators? Because even though, those musicians and those orchestrators have their music sheet and the notes are on the sheet, they're still looking at the conductor. The conductor makes sure the flow happens smoothly. At the end, the symphony happens the way it needs to happen. And those are the sticks, that he uses or she uses. So that is the role of the conductor. And that is the most important quality of a transformational leader who is trying to build transformation in the company, because you are being the orchestrator. You're making sure everything flows smoothly. And this can be done through reporting, alerts, things that, so you don't have to micromanage people. If you have a system that reports back to you on every aspect, or system that alerts you when something is out of sync and it needs to be fixed immediately, so you can take care of that. And technology exists today to help you give those alerts, those reports, or systems, those notifications, so you can, be managing all of this properly without having to give up a lot of your time. So that is being the conductor. Number 4 is you want to make sure that, you are quantifying everything. Everything turns to numbers. If we're not measuring, things in numbers, we cannot quantify. I can tell you a true story about each one of these aspects. So, for example, when we were transformative communication, we were trying to build communication. There was a company, they used to do lanyards and badge accessories, and they had 2 floors, and many of the people used to go to the warehouse downstairs to look at the items, because they used to sell in small quantities to everyone and on Amazon. So they had to be a lot of the times in warehouse. So people were not by their desk or phone. And when they needed them, when to talk to customers, or the team needed them, they were not available. So the orders weren't going out and the reviews weren't coming in. So we got walkie-talkies for everyone. The gossip went down, the communication went up through the roof, the reviews went up through the roof. So that is transformative communication, looking at ways to communicate with each other to get the job done. On second, I was talking about, building transformation innovation. So was working with a event services company, and in that event services company, the because of the pandemic, business just went downhill to zero overnight. And how do you transform, how do you pivot? So they had a lot of things that over the decades of doing event service business, they had accumulated and collected in their warehouse, and we found a system to build an e-commerce business out of it, and market this, through proper marketing channels. And all of a sudden, they had a business that was up and running during the pandemic, because a lot of those items are extremely useful. People were at their home doing nothing, and or doing some great things or some innovation. And this is where the sales happen really big and really well, and they build a multi-million dollar out of building a transformative innovation. Now, I was also talking about being the conductor, and this is an example where, coached a company drowning in customer service calls, where, the client used to get a lot of customer service call. He used to be a packing and shipping company, and used to just, troubleshoot all complaints. The complaints were huge amount, and he was not being the conductor. So he had an assistant who had worked with him for over 21 years, and then she knew how to handle the customer. I said, why don't we give this job to her, and you get back in the warehouse where the complaints are being generated and things are not happening, and make sure things are going the way they need to be. And we build proper systems, structures, processes, methods, notification, inventory systems, everything from soup to nuts. The complaints went down by 98%. And then and then he was more needed with the team. He was the orchestrator, he was the conductor, making sure everything, was going smoothly. And that became part of their DNA, their culture, and also resonated with what the company was all about. So that is telling you how you can be the conductor. Now let's talk about quantifying everything. So there was a company, autism. They work with autism kids, and when the BCBAs and RBTs, the registered nurse and the behavior analysts, they go out and work with clients and their kids. There's a combination of insurance and all the other things that you need to use. But if you don't use the right combination, the company could be losing money. The company wouldn't get the right reimbursement, and that's what was happening. So we built a tool that crunched all the numbers from all different insurance companies and built it into a single tool that was imported into their dashboard, that they could use on their dashboard in their iPad when they were with the clients. And it could immediately calculate it, which combination, which insurance companies, what type of insurance reimbursement you need to apply for that will cover what the treatment is needed, and also pay the company what they need to get the job done. And this is quantifying everything. So we quantified all the numbers from all the places to build it into a single page tool. And like this, I have more than 200 single page tools that I've built over time by helping many different companies that they can use, and they can scale the company to the next level. The most important, say the best for the last. I'm talking about number five, which the number one thing that every transformational leader should be doing is concentrate on six key victories for the day. Everyone has one thing in common. You, as a leader with along your team members, have one thing in common, is we all have a date, and we all have a date at work. And we want to make the most productive day at work when you're going to work. So, number six is making sure that you're focused on six key victories for the day. And this three could be short term, which puts money or financial impact or improves your bottom line profitability for the day. And the three would be long term transformation. So, these are may not give an immediate impact, but they have an impact a week, a month, 90 days, a year, 3 year, 5 years from today. And you're working on something that has that long-term impact. So when you work on these six key large victories and small victories, whichever one are the most, and they're key large victories for you, because one will have an immediate short-term impact on your money, on money in the bank, on your financials, on your net profit, and the other three would have long-term transformations. As a transformational leader, you can focus on these six key large victories, and it will transform your day, transform your company, and it can be the theme that everyone follows in the company. Now, it's also essential, that you do this as part of your DNA. So I'll talk to you about a true story. When I helped the company, where there was a restoration company, and they were working, where the owner was, used to come to the meeting, with the, he wanted to put all the cases that were pending on a single page. So he would put it on a 6-point type that was even hard to read, and he would come to the meeting and say, look at all these cases that I've got. Why aren't we doing anything? And and then, what I did was converted it into a 16 to 21 point type in a single page with cases that have 80% or more probability of getting the job done and getting the money in the bank. And when that was done, there was joy and enthusiasm in the team, that they didn't have to focus too many. And if they focus this week on these five, these six, these seven cases, and they can handle that, they can focus on that, and they can get money in the bank. And they had a bell that by the door, that every time some money or check came in, they ring the bell. And that's how this happened. And the bell kept on ringing throughout the day. Everybody was excited, and they all celebrated, and the business went up more than 200%, 250% in 90 days. And they had their best best quarter ever. So this is, the 6 key victories for the day. Focusing on less. Less is more. And when you have these 6 key victories, or your 3 short term, 3 long term, you can literally transform your day for yourself as a leader and for everyone else. I hope you have enjoyed these 5 key qualities of a transformational leader that can not only just transform you as a leader, but can also transform your team, your organization, and what you do on a daily basis. Now, I have plenty of resources. You can access the $100 gift card for, getting all my 13 book series, Becoming a Pioneer. But I look forward to helping you with all these resources I bring to the table and a lot of insights. This would be my 211th video today that I'm doing as part of my online on my YouTube channel. I have so many videos that can give you so many insights. So check it out and make yourself a pioneer.